You are listening to the Savage FINcast, episode 128, The Return of the Flannel.
Chicago. A criminal mastermind called Overlord held our city in his terrifying grip. Ordinary cops were losing the battle against Overlord's super freaks and mutants. Then, a miracle happened. When I found him, he had no memory of his past. I helped him find an identity and a life. Now we have a fighting chance. Now we have the dragon.
This is the Savage FINcast, the show that cordially invites you to the wedding of the century. I am Jim Purcell.
I'm Craig Olson.
I'm Mark Welzer.
Hey, Mark, good to have you on. Good to have you on actual FINcast instead of a pair of retros, as we've done a lot recently.
Yeah, it's great to be back, guys.
It has been a while since we've done a proper FINcast, and we apologize for that due to a number of factors. But it is good to be back covering a brand new issue of the Savage Dragon. Of course, the Savage FINcast is the internet's only, as far as we know, Savage Dragon podcast. Erik Larsen podcast dedicated. So it's good to have a new issue to go over.
It's great to have a new issue. When did the last issue come out?
Well, last time we recorded was in August, so probably July.
Good Lord.
We had a good run there for a few months.
Yeah, he was really banging them out there.
We had some real quality issues in 23, just not many.
Yeah.
How many issues did we get in last year?
No, you're asking me the hard questions. That would require research.
Okay, sorry.
Let me find out.
I think four. I could be wrong.
According to Comic Vine, the answer is 4.
Well, 263, 264, 265, and 266. So the Mako on the cover issue, the story of Paul, Samurai Blasts and Malcolm in the Nuts in 265, and then the move to San Francisco in 266.
So 2023 was the all-digital year, right?
I don't know if 263 was part of that, was it?
I guess there was some, I think.
Some parts, because he
I guess I shouldn't say all-digital, but
yeah,
the only year that has digital, because he's back to drawn on the boards now.
Yeah,
he did say that.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
For good, I don't know, but time will tell.
Whatever works for his process.
Right.
We know this issue, I think the cover's done digitally, where it's photo referenced or whatever. But I don't feel like any of the insides were done digitally.
No, and I guess this is the best looking issue of Dragon we've had in a while. I'm so glad that he's doing back traditionally.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Great looking book. Yeah, the cover was, I think Erik said it was a picture that he took at a wedding.
Oh, wow.
Or a wedding that he was at, I'm not sure, but...
It's a pretty good posed picture.
Right. I don't know if he shared the photo or not.
Hey, just for the listeners and real quick, I just, before I forget, before we jump into this issue, I did want to make an announcement. Are we going to do news or no?
Yeah, we're going to do news. We got a few things.
Okay, so I want to add something to the end of the news after when we get to that.
Okay. I mean, to be honest, all we really have is news. Unfortunately, due to how long it's been since this recording and the last, if you send us any letters back in the fall, we're not going to read them just because they're pretty old at this point. So if you have any, want to get back in touch with us, refresh a question, send us a fresh email to savagefincast@gmail.com. We will try to read it out in the next episode if it comes within a reasonable amount of time.
We'll have a FINteresting conversation too, so you can write in for that.
Yeah, we got a new FINteresting conversation topic lined up for this episode as well. So we'll get to that after our news segment, which, to be fair, is not a lot, even though a long time has passed. So the main first news story, just to put it out there, the second Ultimate hardcover is out. As of actually, it's been a few weeks, right? Back in December.
Yeah, so as of the today, the day of the recording is January 10th. I think it's been out for maybe a week and a half. If you ordered from Amazon, you may not have gotten it yet. I ordered, and I have not gotten mine, and I think it's due next week. Sounds like you looked it up.
Currently says 1 to 2 months wait time.
Yeah, and I think Organic Price Books is on back order now. And you said you looked at half price trades, right?
In stock trades.
Oh, in stock trades, sorry.
Which currently implied to me that it was in stock. So I'm going to buy one before this episode comes out. So if I get the last one, I'm flipping you off right now.
So if you were thinking of getting it, by the time you hear this podcast, you may want to jump on it sooner than later, or you might have to wait until a new printing comes out.
It's unfortunate that it's a good thing it's selling out if it is selling out. It's unfortunate if it's just a supply issue because Amazon sucks.
Yeah.
And of course, if your local shop has a copy, probably the best way to get it.
Yeah, I'll have to hit up my shop. I haven't picked it up yet.
Oh, that's good.
I know a couple people have got it. Everyone says it's really good.
Oh, and the first one's excellent, so I imagine the second isn't much different.
I got a little bit of a peek at some of the sketchbook stuff.
Yeah.
And there's it looked like there was a bunch of new stuff that hasn't been printed before, so that's good.
Well, that's cool.
I think this is still in the era too where he's got a lot of sketchbook material to put in these.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to go away at a certain point.
Right. Oh, cool.
Other bit of news, there was a cover at some point in the last 6 months. It was 270, I believe.
Yes.
And I don't have it in front of me.
So 270's got two covers. Both are kind of in black and white. One cover's all red with the Savage Dragon logo that mimics the Funnies issue logo, that old school logo. Mm-hmm. And it's got the kids running across it in black and white with a solid red background. And it's got, what's the tiger's name?
Walter.
Walter's tail, it looks like. They're chasing it. And then there's a second cover that's completely black background with Malcolm in black and white, just kind of looks like he's kind of charging towards the reader in the image, just kind of a solo shot. The solicitation copy says, while Malcolm Dragon's team faces its greatest challenge, the Dragon Kids go off on an adventure of their own. Comes with our highest possible recommendation. So not sure if it's going to be a complete Dragon Kids issue, or if it's gonna also kind of feature Malcolm. It's not quite clear.
I definitely enjoy the solo Malcolm Kidd stories. So I'd really look forward to more of that.
Yeah, they've been good.
Yeah, not a lot of information there in the solicitation to speculate on there, right?
I mean, Dragon solicitations have been pretty vague for a very long time.
Right.
They cover a lot of ground.
The covers even don't give us a whole lot either. Malcolm's got his fists up. He's ready.
Yeah, they're kind of strange covers for Savage Dragon, to be honest, especially the solid black one where it's just like your kind of pinup cover, which we typically don't see Erik doing.
No, I wonder if it's going to be colored at some point, or if he's going to reveal another cover. This is a
Oh, the
placeholder.
old switcheroo.
Yeah. who
Yeah,
knows?
it does seem kind of placeholdery, but then again, the red cover being in black and white, maybe black and white means something.
Oh, that's true. Could be a whole black and white issue.
It would be interesting. Just due to how long things have been, we can quick go over like other covers that were upcoming, like 268. That's the cover with Maxine punching Malcolm in the junk. And 269 has got the cover with both the Janney twins and the Johnson twins, which is a pretty fun cover.
SOS West, I guess, is what they're calling them in the solicitation.
So those are scheduled for February, March, and April. I wouldn't lay money on that.
Yeah, that's soon.
I'd like to be surprised, but we'll see.
Well, if this comes out, on January 17th and he can keep them monthly, that would work, but we'll see. I mean, I feel like this issue has been done for a while, so maybe he's catching up.
I mean, that's possible. Yeah.
And I don't know, because I know he's been spending a lot of time on these hardcovers.
Yeah.
Recoloring them and stuff. I don't know if the third volume, I don't know when it gets to a point where he has pages that don't need to be recolored.
Right.
So I think once we get there, we'll probably see some more productivity.
Yeah. Because he's
been spending a lot of time on that.
Yeah, the hardcovers take a lot of work, and I believe last year we had a lull in the last half of the year for similar reasons.
Yeah. Because Erik insists on doing everything himself.
Mm-hmm. Surely interns exist.
Hey, one piece of news I did not want to forget, which I was talking about before. I wanted to mention, because probably Mark's too modest to mention it, but Mark's own comic, Gods of Brutality's got a Kickstarter going that collects his trade. I don't know if you want to just talk about it for a few minutes, Mark. I think Savage Dragon fans, if they hadn't bought the original issues, would probably jump on this. It seems like it's very, very much a book that a Savage Dragon fan would enjoy.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to get too into it, but it's a book that Rich Woodall and I had
free to get into it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to say. Now, Rich Woodall and I put this together. Rich Woodall has also contributed a lot of stuff in the Savage Dragon. I think most recently he did that story with Thor's kid.
Yeah, yep. Mickey, right?
Mickey.
Yeah. Johnny Raygun. He did a Johnny Raygun Savage Dragon crossover that he put out a couple years ago. So we all know Rich. We love Rich. I did the art on it. It's about a heavy metal singer from the 1980s who dies and goes to hell. While he's being ripped apart by demons, he prays to any god that will listen to come save him. But Zeus and Odin hear it. They send their sons Thor and Hercules down to help him out, but they don't get along, so they got to fight their way out of hell together, and they all hate each other, and it's violent, and there's a lot of swears, and it's metal, and it's 4 issues that we are collecting into a trade paperback that we are putting out through Kickstarter. Not sure what else to say about it, really.
So there's no. I just want to say, I mean, the issues are done, so you've hit your goal, so there's no real if you pledge, you're gonna get it. It's like
you'll get
there's no risk. So it's kind of a no-brainer. But
so
we just announced. You go ahead, Jim.
Just a question, just out of my curiosity, since you are doing this Kickstarter, that means you guys have the rights back to it.
Yes.
That's excellent news.
Yeah, we can put it out now. And then after this, we're going to try to get our Dracula book out if somebody ever finishes drawing that.
Erik.
I'm going to make fun of the artist. So, but we just, anyone listening that's familiar with the Perhapanauts?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, they were published through Dark Horse and Image and other places, but Rich is real good friends with the Craig and Todd for the Perhapanauts, and they have a Kickstarter running right now too. And we decided it would be fun that if somebody backs our project as well as theirs, they will get an exclusive 11 by 17 poster that was drawn by Craig and myself, featuring characters from the Perhapanauts and the Gods of Brutality. Although we are drawing each other's characters,
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's also some great tiers, like you can get some original artwork or commissions.
Yeah, a lot of artwork. Rich has some original art that he's trying to get rid of. I've got some that I'm trying to get rid of. So there's still a lot left. We're doing commissions, and I think there's signed copies that we're doing. And I think stickers and guitar picks.
Well, you hit your first stretch goal, so you guys got to come up with a second one, I guess, right?
Right.
And it's still like about 20 days left, right? So
Yeah, I think it's going through the end of January.
So hopefully we can get this up and the release date of the Savage Dragon issue with some time for people to hear this.
Yeah, and also I want to mention we have collected all the covers and all the pinups that were in issue 1 through 4. So you're going to see a lot of familiar folks in there. We got Raven did a pinup for us.
Right.
Yeah, Craig McJunkin, who did work on Super Freaks.
You wanted to call it Freak Force.
I almost called it Freak Force.
I always do that.
He's got a pinup in there, and a bunch of D-Fish that we like, and
D-Fish, she drew Super Patriot in the inside back cover of Super Freaks.
On the jam cover, the jam piece, yeah. And Joe Zierman, who did I think it was a Deadly Duo story.
Yeah. Well,
and so it's a lot of good stuff in there.
I am thoroughly impressed with the book. I can tell you that, honest to God, if you love Savage Dragon, it's the same kind of humor. It's tons of action, tons of awesome double page spreads, and I don't know, just all sorts of mutants and kind of creatures and stuff like that, which just is incredible. It's a book that's right up my alley. I hope you guys make more of them.
Me too. I hope we get a chance to make some more, because I miss drawing them.
Well, cool. So should we jump right in?
Well, no, we got to do FINteresting Conversations.
Oh, yeah, right.
Remember, we have a pecking order to these things. So this,
it's been so long. I'm got to get back into it.
So as this upcoming Savage Dragon issue that we're going to be reviewing ends, with a major return, we thought we might ask the audience this episode, who would you say is the most effective villain in Savage Dragon? Not your favorite, not what you might call the strongest or the greatest, but like what villain would you say is like the most effective at their goals, at achieving their aims? And I guess you could kind of lump that into your favorite as well, but just who do you think is like the quote unquote the greatest villain in Savage Dragon in terms of actual achievements and threat? Yeah.
I'm not going first on this one.
Oh.
I need to hear someone else first.
No. Do you want to go? Do you have something in mind?
Well, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna say Dart.
Okay.
Allison Dart. She for a long time was one of the most dangerous villains that Dragon and Malcolm have ever faced. She was nuts, but while also being nuts, she managed to like rise to the top of the vicious circle and take over through force of arms and strength of arms. And if it wasn't for a random bullet, she probably would still be out there killing everybody in her path.
That was crazy how she died, like so randomly.
Put yourself out there, you're gonna catch some debris at some point. That's just the Savage Dragon way.
Yeah, that's a good pick, Jim.
But yeah, I always thought Dart as one of the major antagonists was one of the most, not only the most like effective, but also one of the most creative choices. Because who the fuck would think Dart would be a character of any real long-term substance, really?
I certainly didn't.
Of course, that God Sword did a lot of the heavy lifting.
I got one.
All right.
Unless you want to go, Mark.
Well, I got one. I want to see if it's the same person.
On 3?
Okay, all right. We'll do it 3.
I'll count you down. On 3.
Okay.
Not go. 3. 1, 2, 3.
Cyberface.
Dark Lord.
There we go. Got it perfect and synced. Perfect.
Tell us about Cyberface.
I gotta think he's the most effective when you think of the Savage world and what he did. I mean, you talk about supervillains. They always want to take over the world, right? But how many actually do? He kind of did, didn't he? I mean,
yeah.
I actually forgot about Cyberface.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not in the regular Image universe, the Savage world. He had
his
pretty damn effective.
He was always messed up in the Image universe. He never had the opportunity to be, the monster he could be. Whereas in the Savage world, he had that opportunity and he took it.
Took it pretty effectively. I mean, and his powers, he could be pretty much anywhere, anytime. He was kind of a scary villain for that,
Yeah, because he could.
Dumb for saying Dark Lord.
Well, what's your justification for Dark Lord?
Well, I was gonna say because he sent Dragon to the Savage World, but then in hindsight now with Craig's justification that the only reason that the Savage World was so fucked up was because of Cyberface. So,
Are you waffling?
I'm waffling a little bit.
I always waffle with Dark Lord because I'm not sure if he's a good guy or a bad guy.
That's also good.
Oh, he's definitely an antagonist, and he murders for his goals. Entire
but
worlds.
Is it because he thinks he's doing right?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're taking shortcuts to your goals, it makes you a villain.
But I feel like also maybe Dark Lord achieved the most in the book with our dragon. If that makes sense.
Yep. That makes sense. You mean in the Image universe?
In the Image universe, yeah. Which he fucked up completely.
Oh yeah, he blew it up. Blew it the fuck up. He took away its only protector. Dummy. Dragon was there. Universo would have been defeated surely.
So no waffle. Double down. Dark Lord.
So
by way of
all good
Cyberface.
picks.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so many other choices. I mean, there's been a bunch. Of course, Overlord and Mr.
Storm.
Who?
Chaos and Control and.
Those guys are flunkies. I mean,
Dung. All right.
But
Undermined.
Yeah, Undermined.
Like is Mako an effective villain? For everything he did. I mean, he was always pretty.
I wouldn't call him that effective though.
Yeah, he's probably ultimately the biggest failed villain.
I think he's probably maybe Super Patriot's biggest threat.
It's true. He did take out Super Patriot. He doesn't talk that up enough.
You know what? I mean, he's one of Dragon's biggest threats in terms of like winning fights against Dragon or messing him up. Mako is pretty effective.
Yeah, he's able to hold his own pretty well against him. But he doesn't really have plans or schemes. He's no end goal. Just violence.
Yeah,
Brainy Ape has more schemes.
That's true. He was able to pull something off.
Yeah.
Back in Germany.
He was.
Before he met Dragon.
Before he met Hellboy.
Right.
I mean, you got guys that have the potential to be,
players,
effective villains, but they're kind of one-offs. Like maybe, I mean, Horde's not really a one-off, but he could have been more effective. Or Abner Cadaver.
And Abner Cadaver actually killed Dragon though, so he's one of those rare, one of that small number of elites who actually killed Dragon.
There you go.
Him and Dark Lord.
So, shall we not hog all the picks and let our dear listeners in on the fun?
Yeah,
see what they have to say. I'd like to hear some, if you agree with us, let us know. If you disagree vehemently, let us know. If there's something out there we missed, tell us.
Send us
You
letters.
can reach us at savagefincast@gmail.com, and we will read your answers.
We'll read it in February when 268 absolutely drops. Sorry, Erik. We make jokes because we love. So I guess now we get into those as our dear missing friend Raven would say, those meat and potatoes.
The meat and potatoes.
The review, the issue review of Savage Dragon 267. So we saw this cover ages ago. It's very pink upon pink.
It's a triple size 30th anniversary special.
I gotta say, I prefer the baby blue on the 100-page spectacular version versus the darker blue on the banner version.
Mm-hmm.
Image Comics Group version.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. But as we said, this cover was based upon a photograph at a wedding that Erik probably, we believe, attended. It's pretty good.
100 big pages.
Definitely looks. You can see those faces there that are digital.
Yeah, especially Paul.
Yeah, Malcolm looks all right.
I think Malcolm does look all right. I think Paul looks a little slim because he has got Dragon's bulk, and here he's a little slimmer than you would imagine. But then again, he'd also cover up everybody in that side if he was like properly proportioned.
It's true.
I didn't I wasn't even like realizing it, but that's Thunderhead, right?
Yeah. He
the blue guy.
He's getting Mike Wazowski'd by that random hand. He's there though. He wants you to know he's there.
All right, let's jump into this bad boy, this 100-pager.
So right off the bat, the return of the most important character in all of Savage Dragon, Malcolm's flannel jacket, shirt.
But it's not purple.
It's not purple, but I'll take what I can get because Malcolm ain't Malcolm without flannel. I'll stand by that. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, it's a great splash here.
He should have that tied around his waist to this very day, is what I say.
And what was Angel calling herself when she had this costume?
That is Battle Girl. Who, I'll
this
be honest,
crazy costume,
which is not her best look, but it is. I think it's more that she didn't.
It is a look.
It is a look, and I think it's more that she didn't wear it for that long. I think is the big thing. Although interestingly, it does show up in like Image United, and I feel like it was in some other crossover with some other Image heroes, but I can't remember.
I feel like she wore it for like 10 issues.
When that happens, because I know there's been some crossovers where Dragon shows up in his SOS uniform. Like I know there was the one that Jim Valentino did. Was it Altered Image?
Yes.
I think
yes.
Yeah, the whole time he's in his SOS. So for people that don't read Dragon, as far as they know, that he wears that all the time, but he really didn't wear it a whole lot in the book.
He didn't like it very much.
No.
Yeah, he gets merged with the Max, I think, and then the Max merger character also wears it.
Comics.
Dragax? I think it was Savage Dragax. When they got
Savage Dragass.
Dragon ass, all right.
That is a classic ass looking dragon, though. Was everyone happy to see the fin return?
It looks great. Yeah, I have no complaints.
I thought I saw that song. I thought it was like I tried to see if it showed up anywhere else, but I think it's new.
What that?
This is a callback.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Isn't that the? No, it's not. I thought I was gonna say it was very similar to the eye catch, the dragon icon in the corner box of the covers.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's quite different.
Which doesn't show up on this issue.
No, it doesn't. But it's Malcolm now anyway.
Well, the Malcolm one doesn't show up either.
But it's a very classic dragon pose. He's running at me. He's going to pop me in the nose.
Some flying rocks. You got some splatter back there, some ink splatter.
Sneakers.
I love it. Sneakers, yeah. Shoelaces. This double page spread here. Have we seen these guys before?
No,
That
I
they're
thought
fighting?
we had.
Yeah.
I tried to look and see, and I couldn't because there's a couple other scenes in this issue that are callbacks.
Yes.
But these guys, I could not find. I thought there was a scene where Frank got kidnapped or was like pinned up as a cop or something, but I don't even think he's not a cop here yet.
No. He's not. He doesn't become a cop until he bulks out, which is after this. That's how you kind of know where this is set because Malcolm's still skinny.
I think they're in the danger zone still here.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's what they called it, right? The danger zone?
It was, the danger zone. These are probably just some danger zone goons kidnapping important people because I think Frank Sr. would still be alive right now, so Frank Jr. would be kind of a high-profile target, perhaps. So as a flashback, it's fun just to kind of go back and see these characters as they were, but I understand that flashbacks aren't something we see in Dragon very often, especially extended flashbacks like this. But I think this flashback is important because we've known for a while that Angel and Frankie are an item, but it's been strung out so long, especially with like the delays and issues. I think this flashback is useful just to remind us of their relationship, that it isn't just a convenience thing that they're two single characters. They've known each other for a long time.
Well, and at this point too, I mean, most of this played out between issues like 130 and like 200. And with the main stuff I was looking at is like between 130s and 170s. So that's almost 100 issues ago. So kind of do need a bit of refreshing, you know?
It's interesting here when Dragon's coming through, punching this guy's teeth out. He says, "What are you even doing here?" Which is a good question. What is he doing there?
I think he's more asking, like, why are you doing this? What is your plan?
Maybe he's talking to the guys he's punching.
I do like the punch with like the 4 teeth flying out. The classic. Speed lines, scratchy panels. I love that Erik returned back to these kind of 90s tropes.
Yeah, those scribbly panels like that one with Angel at the top there.
Yeah, the ink splatter. So good.
These chunky ink lines. I love it. I think this is a return to form. You know, I'm very, very happy to see this artwork here.
Yeah, I love nothing better than a super thick like outline of like that one panel where Malcolm's punching that guy in the face, the BAM.
Yeah.
Just the inks on that guy's face, amazing.
And Nikos is banging it out here too. The colors look fantastic.
Yep.
So, yeah, we get this big rescue, and we get the typical Savage Dragon of it gets ended by Dragon throwing something through someone's head.
Right.
It's like a rim.
Gotta be pretty traumatic for a normal kid like Frankie. But at least he gets a hug at the end. And we also...
eyeball is so close to her knee.
What's that?
That little eyeball on the last panel there when they're hugging.
Oh. I didn't even catch that.
Then we jump forward to, I guess, when Dragon... this would have been after Virus, right? Because he died. Oh, no.
No.
Wait, what's the timeline here? Was this after he went to space? Dark Lord killed him? Must be. No.
Well, I was trying to go back.
No, this is not, because this is before. Oh yeah, this might.
It says
this.
Dad- yeah.
Sorry.
Because I know Virus shows up at their house when Mildred answers the door.
Yeah, this is
They were
when they
living
think
together.
he's Virus, because this is he died in 225, and this is like the absorbanoids, which you'll see later on.
No, I mean like
I found those issues.
I mean before 175 when Dark Lord killed him.
Yes, so this is right around that. I want to say either they're worried because he's virus or because Dark Lord blew
right.
up
That was
station.
this must be before Emperor Dragon though, or is this after Emperor Dragon? Probably should have done a little bit more timeline research on this because I'm having trouble placing it.
Yeah, I tried my best to go through some of the stuff before the show, but I ran out of time.
I looked up some of the stuff. I didn't think to look up that.
Just need to see some covers really quick to remind myself. Okay, yeah. So Emperor Dragon. Wait, these are the Zorbanoids. That's in set 174. So this would have been
174.
So this would have been
the
first time Dragon died was in issue in 150. All right, in 150, Overlord / Flash Mercury killed Dragon.
Blows up the police station, right? Is that the one?
Yes, you're right. And then shoot.
So Kerr dies in 168.
Right, but this is well before that. All right, at least I would think it's before that, because.
Think of this like Kerr with the end of the. When did the end of the world happen? When all the Vanguard aliens came?
Well, that would have been before this. No, it's a lie. I tell a lie.
No, because that's when.
It's like 179-ish, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that was later.
Because that's when Frank Jr. knocks up Tierra.
Right.
Because he thinks the world's ending. He knew he was dating Angel at the time.
178, 179 is when Dragon returns from space.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, back to this issue. I'm pretty sure these events take place around just before Emperor Kerr. Probably at this point, Dragon is virus, and they think he's dead, so they've come to stay with Mildred. And of course,
Frank Sr. dies.
Frank's. Oh, okay. Right.
Oh no,
right.
It's saying it's their father, Frankie. So Dragon's dead. Never mind.
No. Frankie says when my dad died, I was pretty torn up, and that would have been when the police station got blown up in 150. So it has to be after 150. So I think it is like 152, 153 that these events take place. So yes,
someone's gonna correct us after they have time to read all this.
I think we're gonna need to diagram this issue online after this. Just build a timeline up.
All right, the next scenes I got covered.
All right.
Oh, good.
But anyway, the important takeaway here is that Malcolm and Angel have come to live with Frankie and Mildred.
Right.
And that's going to be
John Day is a cameraman back there, so we got him too.
So
yeah, well, where do we go after that?
What happens when two teenagers occupy the same space? Awkward bathroom.
Right.
Comedy.
Yeah, this is a new scene we have not seen before.
Right.
So, kind of a little gag scene.
But he's got the same hair Frank Jr. does as he did on the previous page, so it's still around the same time.
Must be, yeah. Although Angel's hair is shorter. She's got a haircut since the last scene.
Oh, that's true.
Then the next scene of the Absorbanoids, that's issue 174, where Erik pretty much recreates an existing scene in 174. It kind of like redraws it from different angles. Like, I think there's the one bottom panel where she's like, Angel's reaching for the gun.
Yeah.
That is actually almost the same exact as a panel in 174, except for I think he redrew it. The other panels are new, but they're just kind of different viewpoints of the same scene.
And then the next page is completely redrawn panel for panel, word for word from, was that 176?
Yes. It's the same panels, but they're all redrawn. But the same exact, like, you can compare them, but it looks like almost like it's the same pencils, different inks, but I'm pretty sure it's just redrawn.
I wonder if
this was around the time when Erik was drawing heads really tall, so maybe he wanted to redraw it so he could make their heads the proper size.
That was my question, was whether if this was during tall head era and that he redrew it just to make it in more more in line with what the current art is.
Yeah, the original one it was much looser. This looks better, honestly.
Yeah, Angel looks more drained. I don't know what's the word I want to
use.
Yeah, drained.
Yeah, like they absorb. She's still got the effects of the absorb noise. She's all embarrassed about her looks. Yeah, emaciated. Yeah.
Then it's the Tyrannus Combine.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get to revisit that fun time.
So this is where they think the world's ending. Frank was still dating Angel, but hooked up with Tierra. And I don't know if this... I didn't compare this with that issue to see if it was redrawn.
The page in 179 between Angel and Malcolm, where she's asking him to make love to her.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the dialogue is lifted exactly from that page, except it was between two different characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, right, because that was also when Angel and Malcolm were having their kind of a thing. Yeah.
So
that was 179 was that scene.
So was this scene kind of off panel?
Yeah, I don't think we saw these two characters in this situation in that issue. I think it was the aftermath.
Yeah, I think we heard about it.
We found out about it.
That's funny. Nice little Easter egg there.
The next page was when Frank's telling Angel about his little thing. That is the same page from 184.
It is?
Yeah, 184. Yeah, between Frank and Angel.
It is kind of an interesting page because there's like no background to most of it, which is kind of unusual to me. That zipatone thing at the top is kind of interesting, though. The way it like frames Angel.
Yeah.
I really like the art on this page, like the faces.
Yeah.
Like the second panel of Frank is very classic Larsen face.
Yeah,
I feel
almost like it looks like Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great faces, great expressions on this.
All drawn without photo reference.
Yeah.
Look how beautiful they are. But yeah, that whole page is taken directly from what I mean, it's also redrawn, but
what issue is that in?
that was 184. I took a couple notes before I got on here, but yeah, that was 184.
Damn, someone's doing the heavy lifting.
So then
after that, I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
The montage of all these are the smaller.
Oh yeah,
I didn't clock those ones.
That's okay. They're all over the place, and mostly it seems to be here to assassinate Tierra's character.
I think a lot of them are from 185. The "I Need You, Frank." That panel is redrawn from that. And then it's like a mix between 185 to 200. Like, just, I don't think all of them, like you like what you see, that wasn't in there, but there's like a similar scene where she's wearing the same thing and like Malcolm is staying with them for like a period of time and she's kind of, prancing around half naked, making things uncomfortable.
Yeah, we'll have to make a diagram. a flow chart of all these panels and where they showed up.
I don't know. I just got kind of hung up on how awful it frames Tierra. As I don't think that "Give Up Your Dreams" panel is from a previous issue. I think that's new.
Well, she was kind of a bitch.
Oh, I mean, she was, but
I mean, I remember at one point, there's a panel here where she was like, I think it was after like the threesome or something. She's told Maxine, she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna steal Malcolm now, whether you like it or not," basically.
But
she was not a nice person.
But yeah, we basically get a recap of all their lives up to this point with the babies and the what have you, and then we get one panel of the merging of multiple Earth stuff.
Frank's receding hairline.
Oh, poor bastard.
Makes sense. His dad, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But finally, we get out of the flashback stuff and back to the present day, and the wedding is happening. Of course, Malcolm being...
Yeah, I feel like this is when the issue starts.
Yeah, on my first read, I felt like it was too much flashback.
I mean, it's 13
what do you guys
pages.
think?
It's 13 pages of flashback.
Do you think it was necessary, or do you think it's just right? Too much?
I think it was necessary if this is someone's first issue, which might, because it is sort of an anniversary issue of sorts, which is something to be considered. Basically, it helps a reader understand why these two characters care about each other and the stuff they've gone through over the years. I think without the context of knowing where these scenes are placed in history, though, like there isn't any kind of like timestamp on any of them, so sometimes it's hard to tell that time is passing.
No, yeah, I'm trying to imagine myself as a new reader.
Yeah, I think
would I feel like this is helpful or more confusing?
Right.
It's weird because sometimes he puts those little footnotes there when you're like, oh yeah, all right, and then other times he doesn't. And this seems like a spot where it would have been great to just put the little editor's footnotes or whatever of what issues this spans or something.
Savage Dragon is real time, so if you just put like years on each page where the year advances, that might have helped, at least on the pages. On the full pages, maybe not on the mini panels.
I feel like the footnotes would probably just interrupt the flow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's all real fast paced here. Boom, boom,
yeah,
boom, boom, boom.
True.
It's like not even having full conversations here.
True. Or maybe even if like as a caption, I just said, on that first page, like 19 whatever, or 2012. I don't know, whatever it was.
Right.
For a new reader, it's a little confusing. Like, oh, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, your timestamps would have been something like 2009, 2012.
Yeah. I don't know. But maybe you're right, Mark. It might have been a little much.
Speaking of a little much, Maxine's still on her bullshit, I see. But we should probably talk about Best Man Malcolm. I assume he's the best man. He must be the best man, which is odd because him and Frank, I guess they are. They are friends, but you don't really think of them as best friends because they've been apart so much.
Yeah, I wonder if it's more of he's the best man because he's the Angel's brother. I don't know.
Yeah, and also, Tierra never let him have a life, so maybe he doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, I don't know who any of his friends are that aren't involved with
and he also
an Angel.
Also, don't forget he was in the Chicago police force and got his brain clocked in by what's his face.
The Dick Tracy guy. Whatever.
I don't think he's even still a cop right now, so he probably left all of his friends behind.
Yeah, who knows? It's not something Erik would dwell on just because there's not enough time and pages to dedicate to that stuff, but probably more for just ease of storytelling. But Malcolm's kind of a dick here.
Oh yeah, these guys are.
He's like, you need to step up your game. She's been with a few superheroes, including me, basically, is what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Everyone in Malcolm's family is kind of a dick here. Everyone involved is being a dick to Frank.
Yeah.
Malcolm's given advice that he's got to lay out the pipe, and Maxine's in there getting his soon-to-be wife off. Like, what the fuck, girl?
Basically telling her, like, yeah, Frank can't do as well as I can, so enjoy this while you can. Man.
You know what's strange? Like, I'm surprised Erik didn't do, like, in past issues, like a bachelorette party or bachelor party, like, scene. It seems like that's something he wouldn't have passed up with Maxine. But, anyway.
Didn't they?
Did they? I don't remember.
I think she went to the strip club.
Oh, really? I can't remember,
and then was
man.
grabbing
it's been
all
so
those
long.
guys' dongs. Was that a bachelorette party?
No, I don't think it was.
Was that just them out on the town?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then it was filmed, and then like it got released.
Yeah. I tried to push that out of my head.
I couldn't remember.
It was very weird.
Yeah.
So there's a.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
No. You just remind us of the spot when you think there's a change that happens.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay.
So anyway, yes, we get the pre-wedding stuff, which is, in stories like this, you often get the nervous groom and nervous bride stuff. Of course, this is Savage Dragon, so it's got get a little gross at some point. But then we get the actual wedding procession, and I believe it's Amy as the flower girl. I think Maddie's probably still too young for that kind of thing. We catch up with Mildred and Frankie's daughter, Layla. Yeah, Layla.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, her and Angel, I think, already get on well, so that'll work out. We get Maxine not wearing any underwear because she's continued to be Maxine. And then we get a panel where Frank is looking a little nauseous, and Malcolm saying, "You okay, Frank?" We get the freak forces here.
I wonder how much confusion there would be of people seeing Dart that aren't like, major followers of the book or just newer readers.
Checks in once
like,
in a
what?
while.
What is this?
Last time I saw her,
Didn't
she get shot in the fucking brain?
I just noticed now, Ricochet's looking a little rough. Age is catching up with her.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
I do gotta
that elastic or that rubbery skin of hers.
Yeah, right. Exactly. What was that in Freak Force? Isn't she like immortal or something?
No.
No. There was something about her blood.
She had bouncy blood.
Right.
She's like Speedball.
Yeah, they turned it into a ball and bounced it around the room.
I do got to give Erik props. So, like, he does a good job drawing the different darts, making them look different,
Yes. Like their facial features and everything?
Yeah, for a character that has the same exact outfit, like, he does a good job, like, making, the evil dart kind of look mean, and just have a little bit different facial features.
I forget what this dart's name is. We've seen her so little.
I can't remember either. Yeah.
And of course, Paul is walking Angel down the aisle. And, Frank's starting to get excited about the wedding, and Malcolm is congratulating him, and they get the vows and do the vows, and Frank is really excited. We get the big.
And then we get John Day in here again. He's the priest, wasn't he? The cameraman earlier.
We're also seeing his eyes a little clearer than usual.
I think it's the first time I've seen his eyes. What? No.
Camera doesn't usually zoom in this far. We get the big kiss the bride.
That's a really good page too. That splash page with them kissing.
Right.
It's really nice.
I feel like you always expect, like, after a page like this, there's just be some giant laser that's going to blow through one of the characters and kill them.
I feel like it was one of the most shocking pages in the book because nothing happened.
Things started taking
through one successful wedding there in the entire book.
Well, Paul and Alex got married without any monsters coming out of the lake, so
That's true. You're right.
There's one.
It is rare, though. Well, we can agree that it's rare.
But things definitely take a turn next.
You think?
Yeah. So what we're shown is Frankie taking Angel off, and they have sex on top of the wedding cake in public.
Yeah.
Which is
in front of children.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. The kids are there.
They're all looking like they're so far away, but you could just imagine they're all just like, "What the hell?"
And the wait staff.
They're just like, cake's gone.
And just when you think, what the fuck's going on, smash cut to Dimension X. And who is it but Mr. Glum? But is it Mr. Glum? No, it's not Mr. Glum. Frankie has been swapped bodies with Mr. Glum.
Did you, when you saw the table scene, did that automatically remind you of the callback with Glum and kind of make you think Glum? Because that's what it did to me.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting Glum to show up, but that visual definitely is, that's definitely Glum's fuck style.
Right. From a very specific issue. I think it's like 220, maybe, just before Angel, Savage World Angel dies, I think. But
it was like, yeah, one of the opening scenes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it was shocking then.
Yeah. When I checked it, though, it was actually less graphic than this. I mean, it was graphic, but I don't think her tits were hanging out quite as far.
Yeah.
Did you find the issue?
I think, like I said, I think it was like 220. Let me double check real quick, because I did look it up.
Okay. I guess it doesn't really matter.
It does not, but...
I don't think it was that far back.
Well, remember, 223 was like merging of multiple Earth. Actually, you know what? You're right. I think it was sooner than that, because it would have been... I think it was 208, maybe. Or 207.
208.
Let me check something real quick. I found all these.
I guess he has been gone that long.
Well, okay. Glum's been gone since 225. That was the last time we saw Glum.
Yeah.
Because he faked his death after Dragon died. And basically told us, the audience, that I faked my death, I'm going to go off and do my own thing, and when they least expect it, bam, I'm going to be there. And this is clearly the fruition of his plan to steal Angel. Because that was, of course, his goal back during the merging of the multiple Earths, was to merge his Angel with this Angel and convince her to come with him.
It was 207, by the way. Yeah.
207. Okay. That's right. So 207 is where the humping scene comes from.
Yep.
And 225 is when we last saw Glum.
It's the same shot. She's in the same pose. Same sound effects there. And same dialogue.
Yep. Well, I'll be honest. When I saw it, the dialogue is what gave it away.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Frank's woken up. He's in Glum's body in Dimension X, and he is with the young Angel that we also saw at the end of 225 that she got cut out of a Jennifer that was in a tube, one of Dark Lord's Jennifers. And I guess she's been growing up with Glum this whole time. And the machinery that was used to swap their brains has been destroyed, so Frank's stuck in Dimension X. And presumably he does not have Glum's technological prowess, so how is he going to get home is a question. And how long is it going to take for everyone to figure out Glum is in Frank's body? So when did the swap happen? is the question that immediately will jump to anyone's mind who makes this last page turn. Now, I thought initially that the whole reason we had the extended flashback is that the swap would have happened in the past and Glum has been playing the long game for a long time. But it turns out, no, the swap just happened. You see it on page... I lost count. Shoot. The page right before Angel walks down the aisle. Panel 4. When Frank holds his face. Because you'll notice as soon as that happens, his whole demeanor changes and he starts saying creepy things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where the swap happens. So this is an immediate thing that's just happening. So, how do you feel about this? About this being the return to Glum and in this method?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No. I was hoping for a new villain. Like, they're in a new location. It's kind of, I don't know, feels like a good reset. I feel like Glum is kind of played out. Like, he's had his time. I think it's a little creepy. I don't like the...
absolutely creepy. He's a little creep.
It's gross.
And arguably rapist.
Yeah. I don't like to think about it like that, but it is true.
I'm kind of on the same page with you, Greg, where I was expecting a new threat to show up. We knew Glum was going to show up again eventually anyway. This isn't quite what I was expecting. But
yeah.
I remember with the solicitation and everything, it's like there's a threat looming. I don't remember the exact wording. But I think we were all ready for a new villain.
I just feel like, where do we go with this?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. That's an interesting, something I really care about. Like, Glum had a major arc with the merging of the multiple Earths and stuff. We just kind of, it's not like we just did it, but it was not that long ago. Like, let's put him away for a while. And I really just want a new Superbad. I mean, I thought we were going to get that with Scourge when he came out, and that didn't happen. I'm just longing for the next, Dark Lord, Overlord type character.
All right. I'm going to be the controversial one and say I don't hate this.
Mm-hmm.
I think this makes perfect sense for Glum's character. That Glum has become obsessed with Angel, and that's been the case for a while. Initially, he just wanted to conquer the world, and then he kind of wanted to protect Angel, and then he wanted to have Angel, and then he lost her, and I think he's become completely obsessed with her. So, to me, crashing this wedding is like his ultimate revenge. Not only on the alternate Angel who rejected him, but, Malcolm and everyone else who stands in his way. And I think this method of, like, swapping Frankie out while really fucked up is the kind of really fucked up thing I like seeing in Savage Dragon.
Yeah, I don't hate the idea. Because I know Erik's he'll do something fun with it. But I just was so ready, like Craig, I was just so ready for something new.
Yeah.
I think that's really the only problem that I have with it. Concept-wise, you're right. It works. It's within character. It's consistent with his character. But even like reading the issue, because I was like, when's the bad guy going to show up? When's the bad guy going to show up? I'm like, we're running out of pages.
Yeah.
I thought he forgot.
I guess the flashback also helps add a little bit of action to this issue too.
It does. Do you? I remember when I first read this, because I didn't know when the switch happened.
Right.
Until you told me, Jim. I thought it may have worked a little bit better if we saw the switch earlier. Or not that we saw, but it happened earlier, and we could place it earlier, and we could see Frank Jr.'s life through the perspective of Glum.
Right.
But not knowing it was him until the very last page.
Yeah, that's a good thought. Yeah.
Well, here's the rub.
Because otherwise it seems like it's a retread of things that we've read before.
Here's the thing: it's really a question of how long is Glum going to be able to maintain this cover, because I can't see Glum maintaining this cover for very long at all. If only because I doubt he really knows Frank very well, and he's not going to care about Frank's daughter or his mother. So the real question is, how is he going to deal with other relationships that don't give him away immediately? Because Angel knows Glum because she has the memories of the alternate Angel. His tendencies should be obvious, I'll be completely honest, to her. So my hope is that this grand plan of his fails immediately.
I think it fizzles up pretty quickly.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what next issue is and like how Glum Frank is dealing with this. I hope it does. I hope he gets found out quickly. That's all I'm going to say. Is that I don't want him to be Frank for a long time. Because I honestly think as a character, he can't do it. I don't think he's capable. And also, the longer it goes on, the more heinous it gets. I will say this. Putting Frank in Glum's body in Dimension X opens up a couple of very interesting avenues. Because there are still some unresolved things in Dimension X that might get dealt with. Like, for example, the hand that came out of the dead Jennifer's body. That was set up ages ago. That's never been resolved. So there might be a way to dovetail those two things together.
I was just looking up the cover for the next issue. 268 is the one with Maxine punching Malcolm.
Yep.
What if it does fizzle out real quick with Frank and he just ends up body swapping with everybody?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. If he starts body hopping. That's actually not a bad thought. That would be fascinating.
The other thing I think that could be kind of cool is if, he's got Frank's body, but it doesn't just have to be normal Frank. He could build some kind of costume or suit. And even though it's Glum, it's kind of like almost like a different villain in a way.
What do you mean?
Some kind of supervillain costume or suit. Eventually, using Frank's body.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. It would be kind of funny to see Frank in like a power suit of some kind. Yeah. Of course, Glum is also vain because he also likes to like carve planets into his image. Will he start carving lines on his face to make himself look more handsome? Really mutilate Frank's body.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see where it goes because I wasn't expecting this. I have no idea what comes next, and that's always my favorite thing about Dragon.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I like the ending too. Is that it literally took me aback. I did not expect it. I had absolutely no notion of it, and now there's a ton of possibilities of where this fucked up story could go. I have a few places I'd like it to go, but I'm not writing the book. But I dig it, but I can understand why A, it feels tired because it's Glum again. B, it's too fucked up even for this book. And C, I had a C. It's gone now. No, that's it.
I don't like the banging scene. It's a little too over the top. It's kind of silly, but whatever. I did like Dragon more, and it was a little more toned down when like the sex scenes were every once in a while, and it seems like the sex scenes just become the focus. And I thought we were getting away from it, but this issue is like the major events all kind of
revolve around sex.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm kind of tired of that. Like, I don't know.
Because not only do we get like the bathroom scene, and not only do we get Maxine doing her thing, and not only do we get Glum doing his thing, I mean,
yeah,
this issue is chock full of people who don't like that stuff aren't going to like this issue.
And it's not like I don't hate it, but I just feel like it's like too much. It's like I just wish pages were dedicated to other things that I care more about. I don't know. I not even and that last scene. I just feel like is just kind of gross. Like I feel like there's just ways that it could have been implied. That I don't know. I just.
But then you
I don't
lose
like
the
it.
direct callback to.
Yeah. I totally get that. I just feel like it's kind of rapey gross that I didn't need to see that. But weird. I don't know. It's gonna add more fuel to the fire for all the haters too. But
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't be concerned about that.
Yeah, but they're not buying the book anyway, so.
Yeah.
Well, they might. This has been advertised as a anniversary special.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should probably mention this is the 30th anniversary of the ongoing series. I think it's about half a year late, which is pretty good for Image anniversaries.
And that's usually when new people check it out, or old readers that haven't read it in a while, they kind of come back around to it and say, oh, it's an anniversary. Let's see what's going on in Dragon.
And this is such a strange anniversary story.
It really is.
Because of... I felt like... Wasn't 225 like that, too? Where it was just like... Was it 225 with the threesome? Or was that...
Oh. Sorry, what number are you saying?
Which one was the one with the threesome? Was it 200 or 225?
Oh,
200 maybe. No?
Maybe 200. I don't think it's 200, though. Let me check real quick.
Where it was like not much action, which is odd for Savage Dragon, but it, you know, and I feel like this issue is almost the same thing where it's like, it's really odd to just have talking heads, but he waited for an anniversary issue to do it.
No, 200 was like when they teamed up with Skinny Dragon. I feel like the threesome was before that, but I can't remember what the actual number was.
Yeah, but 200 was like maybe what I'm thinking of because there's not a lot of action.
There isn't.
It's
no.
mostly like a sex scene and like a lot of talking. And I felt like that was the same thing where it was like, man, you got a big anniversary issue, people come back to check it out, and there's like it's not a typical Savage Dragon issue. And I feel like this issue is the same thing. And I feel like there's just a lot of callback, and people who may have not read this in a while, or new people are just gonna not care. But
it's a tough issue. As I know, when the issue with Paul's backstory was told all through like quick flashbacks.
Yeah.
I don't remember the issue number, but that one worked really well because we didn't know anything about Paul other than what we had read from Graphic Fantasy and Megaton and interviews from Erik over the years. So it was nice to see all this stuff about this character that we didn't really know a whole lot about.
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't really learn anything new about Frank through any of these flashbacks.
Right. If you're a longtime reader, and if you're not, it's still kind of confusing.
Right.
Because there's just so much to go through.
It's a lot to dump at once. I think for new readers, they'll be confused. Old readers will feel like they've read most of this already.
Yeah. Overall, this issue just did not click with me. I don't know if I can complain too much. I feel like the 4 issues that we got in 2023 were really good, especially like the Paul Dragon issue was like the story of Paul was like one of my favorite issues in a while.
Right.
I really enjoyed the Samurai issue. So I know they got to be kind of, you know, they all can't be your favorites. For this one, for also, me, yeah.
I feel like if this was just a regular issue, not a 100-page spectacular anniversary issue, and something that came out like relatively on time, not something we've been anticipating for months.
Sure, that's fair.
You know, I feel like it wouldn't have been as big of a kick in the balls. Yeah,
that's fair.
But it's just months and months of building us up. New dragons coming, new dragons coming, new dragons coming.
I think the other part of that, which I'm sure we'll talk about soon, is these backups. And maybe this is a good segue to get into it.
And I think that adds to it as well. The overall feeling of this issue in general.
So shall we jump right into it?
To
The next phase, the backups.
yes. So we got a kind of a fun Freak Force versus Vicious Circle pin-up.
Yeah, it's fun.
Do we know who the artist is? I have the digital advanced copy,
It's-
so it doesn't.
AR are the initials. I don't know who that is. I don't recognize the art.
Gets one has Powerhouse fighting Mighty Man, which honestly is something we don't see enough of. I want to see those two punch each other someday. See, Powerhouse usually knows to run away when Mighty Man shows up
Right.
because they're probably too evenly matched.
I thought this looked like, because it's all blue, I assume this was in some kind of danger room, but it looks like they're in an alley.
Yeah, those are houses.
Those are buildings. Yeah.
Yeah.
This I was trying to think of what art this reminded me of. And at first I was thinking almost like Jason Howard's Wolfman art in a way.
Yeah, a little
That
bit.
pinup. It reminded me of something. I think that's probably what it is. It's a little more. It's different, but it reminded me in that vein of that Wolfman art.
It's
The
very,
astounding Wolfman. No one talks about that anymore.
big line weights and stuff.
Yeah.
Line weights, yeah. I can
Right.
see that. Kind of cartoony. So AR, whoever you are, well done. Got
And then we
Force
get
in Hearts
North
of
Force.
Stone.
So
Yeah,
this
with
is
Nikos back on art.
Yeah, this is fun just to get that story of what happened when they were off world.
So this continues from Savage Dragon 259 / North Force 0.
Yeah, they're off with
I
Cap.
love the look of this so much. Nikos, the coloring, the way it looks old and almost European.
Yeah, it's kind of got that kind of a little bit of that blur on it, right?
Yeah, it looks real cool.
It's definitely something you don't see much in American comics.
Yeah.
He's really developed a great little cartoony sense to his style. Very nice, it flows. He's one of those dudes that's just talented, right? Talented
Yeah,
colorist, artist, inker.
Very loose, but still has a lot of energy there.
What drives me crazy as a wannabe artist is if you look on the big splash page, second page, and you look at what's his name, the rocket guy, forget what his name is. Jet. His backside is 3 lines, and I'm like, wow, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
It's you just got to know where to put the lines.
Right. But yeah, it's super clean line art, and yeah, the way the coloring is done with the odd blur effect is it's very unique. You don't see comics that look like this.
It looks watercolory. And
I wouldn't even call it European because I don't think I've seen stuff like this in European comics, at least not the ones I've read. Just very much his thing.
I like his stylization of the North Force guys. He does a great job with them. They look super cool.
I think what's really cool about this story is not only is it the story of what happened on the Stone Guy planet.
Yep.
They find a personal story to tell within the story between the Jet and Raptor.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this is actually about. Is a near-death experience and what happens when things
kind of mirrors what happened with Frank Jr. when they thought the world was going to end too, right?
right. And of course, the punchline is that all they have to do is activate the device. There's nothing special about it. They didn't have to do anything really spectacular to win this fight.
I mean, it also gives a little more characterization to the Canadian too, right? He comes off as such a dick.
Oh yeah, he's a major dick, and he really doesn't like Malcolm. because
No.
that's kind of
He
like
just bitches about him the whole trip.
yeah, he does because that's kind of like the what this is all about is that these characters are kind of like selfish in like how they protect their identity even from their family. So like the dedication to the mission takes priority over everything. And that's kind of what the Canadian kind of comes across as a dick so much is because from his point of view, that's the correct way. But as, we see between these characters and their relationship, maybe that's not the healthiest thing to do. Because if they
But
die
you can
out
see
here,
both sides,
if they
right?
die out here, no one's going to know what happened to them.
But you could see it from his side, right? If you have alien forces coming, you need, a team that you can depend on, right? That's ready to go at any minute. Kind of like, I don't know, Army Special Forces or something, that's ready to be on call.
I don't know. I think Tootsie's more on the side of it's more important to fight, for what you're caring for.
Right. Well, that's the kind of the story, the main thing, the underlining story, right?
Yeah. And at the same time, yeah, Malcolm was probably kind of a dick too to not come help when the threat was real. Because there's two extreme ends of this, and one of them is Malcolm saying, "No, I can't go. I got kids." And the other one is saying, "Yes, we're going to go and abandon all of our families to our unknown fate." Both sides are bad, not ideal.
Yeah. I can't stop thinking in this story though that like Raptor's really an elderly woman.
That's true. She isn't right now, though.
I don't even know what she is right now. Some kind of red creature.
All I know is
I really like the look of this, but I got to beat up on Nikos a little bit because I feel like some of the storytelling in his pages is a little unclear.
Like where the who's saying what?
Well, not even that, but just like where they are and what's happening.
Yeah.
Because there was that scene where they're fighting the rock monster.
right.
And then he gets crushed by, looks like a gear.
Yep.
Like, I didn't know what that was until I flipped the page and I saw the other gears.
Oh, they're on moving. They're on moving platforms, and the gear is part of.
I thought he just fell off and hit the gear and smashed or something.
No, he got punched into.
Maybe.
He got punched into an elevator like Crank. Because that's remember
is that what that is?
Yeah, because if you go to 4 page 5, you'll see like two big gears on the wall, and you'll see like a bunch of platforms attached to the wall. Like they make a comment of how they got all the way up here, and it's because she was perched on an elevator platform, and it took her up. And that isn't really, and you're right, that isn't really clear unless you really pay attention.
But that is also something very hard to depict in static images.
Yeah.
I mean, he tries here on the previous page with all those speed lines
Right.
heading towards it. It looks like it's going up, but it's a little unclear. But it looks great.
There's that one panel there, like in silhouette. It looks kind of like they're boning. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Like they're hooking up in the middle of this. They're going that fast.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that platform was rising until you mentioned it.
You're right. There are some
But you're going back
speed lines
on the page where the splash page. There's a little kirk and a blum, which I assume are sound effects of the platform rising, maybe.
Yeah, but they're so close to the battle, you think they might be coming from the battle.
Yeah.
Do we blame Nikos or do we blame the writer?
Well, I think some of it, like there's some other things where it's like I'm unsure who's saying what.
Well, that's the weird thing is that this has a writer. I don't really think I know who Tom Pitchuk is.
Pinchuk?
I
don't recognize that
doesn't
name.
jump out at me as a name I'm familiar with. And it's not terribly common for a backup not to be written by Erik. So, interesting.
Yeah.
wonder if I can do a quick search and find out about this Pinchuck character.
I mean, overall, I enjoyed it, though. I don't want to beat it up or anything. I think
No,
the art's fantastic. I think, like you guys said, there's a nice little, like, interpersonal story within a bigger kind of battle story.
I think it is the exact kind of backup you want to see in a 100-page giant like this.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
I wish there were a lot more stories like this in this issue.
Yeah, I mean, it fills in some time gaps and gives a little more characterization to guys that haven't had a lot of,
Screen time or exposure, whatever in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I thought, Nico's handled the characters really well. There's some nice characterization. It's good to see them fighting those rock guys.
Yeah,
Bit of an abrupt ending.
Yeah, well, that's short stories for you.
Yeah.
I really like his style in this, like his take on these characters. They just look so cool.
I would like to see more North Force by Nikos.
Please.
Yeah.
Or anything from Nikos. I really like the style that he's drawing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff.
Then we get another backup. This one by Simon Malik St. Pierre, which who
Absolutely
is,
terrific. Always welcome his stuff too.
This is a fun adventure in San Francisco with it's called Gentrify, and it's very much
a San Francisco tale.
Yeah.
I think it's great just even for the backgrounds. I mean, you really get the feel, you got the steep streets and the row homes.
Yeah.
You see the Golden Gate Bridge, like you really get the feel that they're there.
It's unmistakably San Francisco.
The homeless guy. The tech bros. The tech brotherhood.
Do you think it's Tech Brotherhood or Tech Brotherhood?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, probably. Startup algorithm in Chad.
Is another one. It's very loose art style. No panel borders. But looks great.
I love it.
Yeah, stories. Again, very simple, but it's fun.
I think his style matches like the kids' adventures really well too. Like I've liked what he's done.
Yeah. This crazy homeless guy.
Yeah, that's probably the funniest part about it is that he's, he's the victim, but he's also in kind of a nut.
Yeah, just really doesn't care anyway.
He doesn't care or know what's going on half the time.
And that's just funny because the kids don't realize, they're just,
they're doing their hero thing.
Yeah.
I also love how the robot's shit because he's crowdfunded. Built by the lowest bidder, I suppose.
Yeah, they didn't even really beat him up. They hit him once, looks like, maybe.
Yeah. Well, he broke his own fist on the concrete.
Yeah,
they all
he
walloped
starts
him
falling
once.
apart immediately.
He broke his smart fist.
The government, they control the snails. It's a great ending. I like, they're trying to help this guy. He has like you said, he has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Every line he says is very, very funny. And these bro guys, where were they? The smartwatch. He broke the smartwatch.
Even the tech robot has got his like latte.
Some coffee. Yeah. This is a fun story. I like that.
I love Simon's inking style too, where he's got like thick lines, thin lines, like just really fun to look at. He's a great cartoonist.
Yeah, and he gets the fins right every time.
Yeah.
And we get about 60 pages of Vanguard.
Yep.
Yeah, so the Megaton reprints, right? Megaton, what, 2 and 3?
We get
now in color.
Yeah, this first Vanguard story is from. Isn't this from
issue 2, right?
Issue 2 of Graphic Fantasy?
No,
it's from Megaton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
He already printed all the Graphic Fantasy stuff.
Right. That's okay. Yeah, and then
Megaton was introduced Vanguard. Issue 1 was the one where he fought like those Russian robots.
Yep.
I will say it's fun to see the coloring because he does go the extra mile to like make it look oldie timey.
Yes.
And fade the paper and give it that crinkly look. So it is cool for that reason. But we've seen these stories reprinted so many times at this point. I mean, at this point,
recently too. The Megaton collection just came out.
Yeah. I mean, that was in black and white still. So the big difference is that he recolored all of these. And I don't think I would have had as much a problem if he just did like, one of the issues in this and gave us some more backups. I don't know the background in this. Maybe he, didn't get enough submissions or just, I don't know, didn't have time. I don't know what it was, but it just felt like this 100-pager suffers with too much of the recolored Megaton stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think that tied with the fact that a lot of the stuff in the main story was flashbacks. The majority of this book feels like stuff that we've already seen.
Yeah. Good point. I mean, honestly, I didn't reread this because I've read it multiple times. I mean, it's fun to look at it in color, but I wasn't all that excited by it. I mean, I am glad it got colored. That's all that's what I can say.
Right. And it looks good. He did a great job coloring it.
Yeah. Just wish that maybe it would have, maybe could have put issue 2, Megaton 2 in this one and saved the other one for another issue and gave us a few more backups. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would have liked to have seen more backups, more cool stuff, like Simon and Nikos did.
Right.
And there's a couple things. There's the Megaton ad.
Yep.
I don't know if that looks like that's been recolored, and
the Berserker.
The Berserker.
Berserker coming in 1986.
Right.
Drawn by Erik in 1984.
They've been sitting on that art for 2 years.
Well, I think from everything I've read with the Megaton stuff, I mean, they only came out like maybe twice a year because it was hard to round up all the artists. I think there was something in there where Gary Carlson was like, looking back, I should have just had Erik draw the whole thing. And he would have.
Yeah, so that's Megaton. Did you have anything else to add about these Megaton stories?
No.
Just rereading, like, even like number 2, I forgot how much, like, what's is it Roxanne?
Roxanne
Vanguard's, Roxanne, like how much she's like just like in love with Vanguard and like doesn't want to even like she just wants to jump straight to the jumping his bones. Like if you read, it's like I don't remember it being like that, but there it is. And the other thing, which rereading this is kind of something I thought about that I probably hadn't thought about previously, is that it's kind of like Superman versus Shazam in a way. And I really didn't think about it. I mean, he's not really like Shazam other than the how he turns into Mighty Man.
Mighty Man's more like Shazam than Vanguard is Superman.
I disagree. Vanguard was supposed to be like a Superman, but what if Superman looked more like an alien?
But I never got the sense that he had the same similar like powers. He's not as strong or as fast as Superman by a long shot.
No, but he's
got the
he's got the haircut.
He's got the costume.
Got the colors.
Right, the colors.
And it was more of a haha, like what if this guy came and, he's Superman, but he looks like an alien. He's got, Roxanne's kind of like the Lois Lane.
Right.
Mighty Man's such a dick in this.
Yeah.
Well, I get the sense that this this white-haired one is like Bobby Bierman, and maybe like he gets a new host by the end because he's blonde.
It is Bobby Behrman. We know that.
Yeah. The big double-page spread in the last issue with the new color is great. I really like it.
Yeah, there's so many characters.
Yeah, and in color, it makes it easier to kind of pick apart, right? Like look at and see who's who.
And Smash.
They're also goofy looking.
Smasher in her Wolverine colors.
Yeah. You got Mace hitting the corner there.
Yeah.
Who else do we recognize? There's Animal. I don't see a lot of other guys that have shown up in the main book or Savage Dragon.
Like, who's the guy with, like, the mouth on his stomach, like, underneath Vanguard's crotch? It's kind of funny.
No? Yeah, he's got a neat design. Could not tell you who he is. No, I mean, it's not like we don't like this. It's just, it seemed like a lot at once. Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise...
A lot, and we've been, we've been reading it. Like you said, the Megaton collection just came out. It's, we've read these multiple times. I think a smaller portion would have been sufficient. As a little much.
Well, I think that got us through the issue. Anything else we want to say about it?
There's the back cover.
Right. It's another Simon one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These piranha dragon robot heads are pretty fun.
I know that was originally solicited as an alternate cover, a variant cover.
Was it? I mean, you could tell because there's that big empty space at the top.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's unfortunate it didn't get used, but
Yeah, it's a shame. But I'm assuming this is the back cover because we are we're looking at digital copies here.
Yeah.
The final printed.
Yeah, I have to assume, but we can't be sure.
So 267, that's the big anniversary special, the big double size, 100-page spectacular. I have to assume he's got something similar worked up for 275, right? Which isn't too far away.
I honestly hope, I'd be happy with just a double size issue. I hope he doesn't go too crazy. While after they come out, I'm glad and I like big issues. I just feel like it kills momentum, especially, with him trying to work with multiple artists on different backups. It's just, I just feel like the fans would much prefer 3 issues come out, within 3 months than wait 5 months for a 100-page. So we'll see. I mean, I'll be buying it regardless.
Yeah, we're gonna get it.
But I just think as fun and cool as they look once they're done, I would much rather have smaller, more regular issues.
Yeah, maybe he will do. Has he ever done a normal sized
anniversary issue? I don't think so.
25.
25 was still
double page.
Yeah.
Or double sized.
Do a double size. We don't need 100 pages.
No.
Well, I mean,
got one.
The other thing too is at this point, all the stuff that could be recolored and reprinted, I think, is done, right?
I think this is it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd have to be new material.
I can't think of anything else that hasn't been recolored.
The only thing I can think of which hasn't been colored, is like was it Vanguard Ethereal Warriors wasn't colored? One of the Vanguard miniseries wasn't colored.
Right, yeah.
I don't think it was Ethereal Warriors. I think it was
Strange Visitors.
Strange Visitors
yeah,
one
you're
shot.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It was a 4-issue miniseries, I think.
Was it?
I have one page of original art from that series.
Do you like it?
Nah, it was cheap and I don't know. It was Vanguard original art, so I bought it.
Great.
But yeah, I mean overall,
No, I was
not my
right.
favorite issue.
Ethereal Warriors is a one shot. Strange Visitors was 4 issues.
4 issues, yeah. But
Ethereal Wars was Fosco, which I think we have seen colored.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Was
Well,
colored.
no, I think it was colored when it came out.
No, it was black and white when it came out, and it was.
Was it?
It was colored as a backup like a few years ago in Savage Dragon.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it ran in a couple issues.
Yep.
And Strange Visitors was definitely colored because it's got that cool Scott Eaton art.
I don't think it was colored.
No, it was black. It was printed black and white.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I guess that's what needs to be colored then.
Yep, I think that's it. Unless we end up getting that martial law crossover, but I don't think
Oh yeah,
Erik has
that's in a
What's
weird.
that?
is able to print those.
The martial law Savage Dragon crossover is black and white.
Oh, that is black and white, right?
Which-
I haven't looked at that in years. I got to revisit that.
It's weird.
It's great.
It's strange, and it's not just strange because it's martial law. It's strange that the Savage Dragon aspects are strange. I don't think Pat Mills read the comic very well.
Are there other Big Bang stuff that needs to be colored?
Yeah, I think all of it.
There was that whole the one with the time bomb.
Yeah, I don't think any of that got colored ever.
Well, I guess there is still some stuff.
Yeah, and they could go back and like fill in the panels that were missing, and that whole thing is all messed up.
Yeah, that could use
story.
that whole story arc could use a collected edition.
I don't know how interested Erik is in collecting that though.
It's good though.
He's
Really good.
Generally not super interested in stuff that he didn't do.
Yeah, he didn't write it. It's Carlson mostly, I think, and various artists.
There's a bunch of different guys.
But so yeah, Gary would have to organize getting that collected and colored and such.
Right.
I'd be down to see because I really dig it. Because it's not only Dragon, but it's also a Legion of Superheroes related thing. Two of my favorite things.
Well, there you go.
All right.
Well, I think we said it all.
I think we said it all about this issue. I mean, mixed bag, I think, overall among us. But I think we're all curious about where this could possibly go next.
Yeah.
I'm excited that, it's in our hands and, hopefully there'll be some more coming soon.
Hopefully. So let's, because once again, Raven's not here, I will take over with our classic solicitation read. Savage Dragon 268. Malcolm Dragon is settling into his new home on the West Coast, and his new job, containing and controlling the all-out mayhem in the region, is the start of a bold new direction as Malcolm Dragon assembles his team and faces a threat of unparalleled proportions. Strap in for the ride of a lifetime.
Ride
Sounds
of a
exciting.
lifetime.
Now, who's the team? That's the one that we saw on the covers for.
Got to assume so. That's the new West
269.
Coast SOS. That it's.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just
The
those
Johnson twins?
Johnson twins, Janey twins. I don't know if it's anybody else like
It's the Void Refugees.
the Bay Guardian, if he's going to be part of it. Got to imagine. Although I think he might be hurt right now. I forget if he was in a previous issue and got hurt.
No idea.
At any rate,
Maybe we'll see some new. Maybe we'll get some new members for their team.
Like brand new characters would be pretty cool.
Brand new characters, yes, that are gonna last and not get killed immediately.
Not cannon fodder.
at least not all of them at
Right.
once.
Sure. Let us get to know them, and then you can kill them.
And please strangle Mr. Glum until he chokes and dies. Please do that as soon as possible, Erik. Please. Please let Angel do it. So that's it. That's it for this episode of the Savage FINcast. Thanks for joining us. Sorry about the long delay between episodes. We try to do our best. We got some plans coming along for this year. We'll see if any of them bear fruit, as our plans are often not always the most reliable. So as always, you can send us emails at savagefincast@gmail.com. You can answer our FINteresting Conversations, or ask us questions, or correct us of all of our errors, of which we have many. You can find us always on savagefincast@gmail.com. We're currently on Google Play Podcast and Spotify. I believe Google may be phasing out their podcast app in favor of their YouTube app, which we are now currently on as well. I believe it's the YouTube... what the hell do they call it? It's so stupid.
Is it like YouTube Music or something?
The YouTube Music app, which is about as user-friendly as Spotify. I'm not a fan. But we are available there, so on all of your devices. So thanks for listening.
Adios.
Goodbye.